think you're shouting into a void. You sign petitions, you tweet until your fingers are bleeding, you go on demonstrations, protests, and yet nothing changes. The liar that is Starmer, and his whole front bench, to be honest, probably the biggest liar ever in government, yes, even more so than Boris Johnson and, in my opinion, war criminal Tony Blair. He supersedes them. The son of a toolmaker is the biggest lying tool that we've ever seen in government.
I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No.
We have to make the case for freedom of movement.
We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
Cutting off power, cutting off water, Sakir?
Well, I think that Israel does have that right. I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine. Wounded by the media, the Sun in this city, a hurt for this city. And I certainly won't be giving any interviews to the Sun during the course of this campaign.
Did you write an article for some newspaper the other day? Surely that's not going to gain you any support across the Northwest.
Would you write for them again, Sakir?
I would do, yeah.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
Will you nationalise the big six energy companies, yes or no?
No.
No, you will not.
By the Home Secretary was the wrong decision, and I think it was a rushed decision.
In 2019, you said stripping her of her British citizenship was the wrong decision. She's lost her appeal to regain it. Should she be allowed to appeal again? Should she be allowed back here in order to face justice in the UK?
I think the court decision yesterday is the right decision. The Labour Party in opposition needs to be the Labour Party in power. And a government doesn't go on picket lines. A government tries to resolve disputes. I'm really pleased to be here this morning supporting the staff at McDonald's who are on strike. Air quality, climate change is the issue of our time. And as the Extinction Rebellion protest showed us this week, the next generation are not going to forgive us if we don't take action. I think they're wrong. I think their action is wrong.
You have to choose now between Davos or Westminster.
Davos.
Why?
Because Westminster is too constrained. And, you know, it's closed and we're not having meaning. Once you get out of Westminster, whether it's Davos or anywhere else, you actually engage with people.
If any of the multiple allegations, rumours about his deviancy are right, it's more a sign of us idiots voting for someone like that just to get rid of the Tories than it is of anything else. With every question that people like Starmer, people like Rayner, people like Jess Phillips don't answer, they do it with this politician sort of talk that's obviously been taught to them, where they change a question round, you can't get a plain and simple answer out of them. Let's face it, these are the people who couldn't answer what a woman was. And it makes you feel desperate. But yesterday, when I was looking at the protests in Epping, after an illegal migrant was arrested for sexual offences against a woman, was it? And a child, I believe. And enough was enough for the people of Epping. And I think all over the UK, we're that far away from saying enough is enough. I was proud of that woman yesterday, I don't know her name, with the long blonde hair, for saying exactly how she feels as a woman.
Forgive me, and I'm not going to sing. Good for you. But listen, I just want to thank everyone for coming here today. We're all local people. We're all good, local, tax-paying people. We don't want trouble. We don't want fights. My question would be, why, and all due respect to the police, why are you allowing agitators to come and fight against us? Because you are inciting violence. We're not. You are. Mr. Starmer, I hope you're going to hear, I hope you hear this. Why are you letting 500-600 undocumented men come across the channel every day into this country? We don't know who they are. We don't know what their background because we are a soft touch. Yeah. We give them everything that they want, and then they turn around and abuse us. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Why are the left? I hate to make this about left and right because it shouldn't be. But why are those antagonists coming and accusing us of racism? It's not about racism. It's about abusing children, young girls in school uniform who are trying to get to school and are being sexually assaulted by a 38-year-old man in broad daylight. Yeah. Now, if I've got to wear a far right title because that's what I'm being, that's what the narrative is, then so be it. Then so be it.
Exactly how Brits of all colours feel about certain cultures not integrating and yet being given some sort of elevated platform above the law, above the police, above the justice system. Two-tier, supported by two-tier Keir, of course. We can see that from him blaming the far right for the demonstrations after 3 little kiddies were butchered in Southport by a radicalised nut job. And we've seen multiple cases of it ever since. Protest, there seems very little point, does there? Not if you're one of the football lads or if you're a concerned citizen, someone who the Prime Minister would call far right, which is most of us now. Us who have fought for equality and against racial hatred all our lives, we're now far right. And we've reached a stage where we don't care. It's a badge of honour now, not an insult. If you're a sane, normal thinking person, under Home Office guidelines, you're far right. No one cares. So my point is, I believe they want to provoke violent civil disorder so that they can bring in their digital IDs, so that they can bring in curfews, so they can bring in 15-minute cities without any excuse whatsoever. So what we want to do, I believe, is to have non-violent civil action. And there's something I want you to know. Labour don't want you to know it. The Tories won't want you to know it. Labour, with their big majority, even though 19%, only 19% of the people of this country entitled to vote, voted for them. And what they don't want you to know is there's a magic figure, 3.5%. And that 3.5% is magic, because as soon as you get 3.5% of people, of the population, who say no, no more, we're laying down tools. We're sick and tired of grooming gangs. We're sick and tired of you not stopping the boats. We're sick and tired of prices going up. We're sick and tired of not being able to afford to get on a train. We're sick and tired of food prices going through the roof. We're sick and tired of you spaffing away our hard-earned tax revenue supporting proxy wars, vanity projects, an unworkable net zero philosophy for climate change that many non-governmental funded scientists believe we can't do anything about anyway. No, we don't want to add to it, so we should be investing in technology for the future, but not technology that has no real net effect, like electric cars, electric batteries. They don't care about little Congolese kids dying because they're working in slave conditions. They don't care about that because it helps, because electric cars run with their narrative. Electric cars can be stopped at any time, remotely. Your petrol and diesel cars can't. I've spoken to people with technology to vastly improve vehicle emissions. The government haven't been interested in funding that. Wind power, not currently efficient enough, but it suits their narrative. But when 3.5% of the population say enough, we're laying down tools, we're not taking any notice of your laws, that's the magic figure. And it's worked time and time again. So that's all it takes, 3.5%, not half the population. I'm talking about people not sitting behind a computer screen moaning about these criminals at the top. I'm talking about people that actually decide to strike, protest and bring the infrastructure to a standstill. Remember the fuel price protest where all sorts of vehicles sat outside of oil refineries? The country come to a halt in days and the government capitulated. So we need to wake up 3.5% of people who are so fed up, and I believe that the figures are a lot higher than that, that they say no, no more. No point in me going to work because I can't afford to live. No point in me taking notice of those laws. It's not helping me. It's a two-tier system. That's where we're reaching. Yeah, just 3.5%. Doesn't it make it a much better proposition to bring an evil system, an evil government down? I'm appealing to everyone who could be part of that 3.5% to start standing up, start being counted. Like the women of Epping. Political scientist Erica Chenoweth. No, she's not a Star Wars character. She looked at uprisings. She looked at coups. She looked at regime changes from, I think it was 1900 to 2006. Non-violence, non-violent participation of over 3.5% worked virtually every time. I think we might need 5% to bring down these criminals with their authoritarianism, but that 3.5% should be our first aim. Wake up the person next to you. Give them hope. If you've got someone who's so into Love Island they don't even notice what's going on around them, perhaps give them a shake, even if it's during the adverts. That's why tyrants get twitchy when the mothers come out. They're not bothered about a load of football fans with flags. They're not bothered about 100,000 patriots outside Westminster. Oh yeah, whatever. Get the police to pick on the easy targets and send them to prison for a good long time. That'll sort them out. That'll suppress it. And we can just say they're far right football thugs. Now, when Sharon from accounts gets a bit peed off with grooming gangs, two-tier justice, two-tier policing, a government that seemingly don't care about women, whether it be your daughter, your sister, your mother, or your grandmother in some cases. Now, when they come out marching, that's when these criminals get twitchy. And I was so proud of the women of Epping yesterday. We now need to support them non-violently. Don't give these criminals at the top any excuse to take away any more of our rights. And that's a direct appeal. We can beat this lot by taking the higher moral ground. The Philippines, an evil dictatorship taken down. Estonia, Lebanon, you name it. There's loads and loads of examples of silent revolutions that have brought cowards, criminals and tyrants down just by the people sticking together and taking non-violent action. It's the way forward. So if the mums of Epping can do it, what about Dave in Wigan, the plumber? What about Tyrell, the actor? What about Stan, the factory worker? They can do it. If 2.5 million of us said we won't comply, we won't tolerate this anymore, we won't pay into your system, we won't participate in your criminal society, we wouldn't need a revolution, we wouldn't need an army, we wouldn't need violence. They'd be on their knees. Non-violent civil action. This country has been sleepwalking into decay for decades, but now the alarm clock's ringing. And if 3.5% of us get up one morning, it's going to be a great day at the office, with lots of criminals eventually going behind bars. There'd be an end to two-tier policing and two-tier justice because we wouldn't be putting up with it. They'd either change or they'd have no country left to govern. Can you imagine Starmer, the fear that he would feel if no one was taking notice of him? A seemingly psychopathic narcissist with no empathy for anyone. So if enough of us make a stand, peaceful, firm and with clear demands, they fail. They always do. The people have still got the power. We're just so browbeaten that many of us don't realise it. And the other half, well, they're watching Love Island. Grab hold of them during the adverts. Remember, it's not a numbers game, it's a courage game. Now stand up and fight for your families, non-violently. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think and please subscribe to the channel. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.